Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tank be chopping, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, so what we're gonna be doing on this cut is a number 2 on top, a 1 on the sides, high taper. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna line my client up. We're gonna do what we gotta do to make sure the client gets the best look coming out this chair. So as you can see, I'm going in with my Stylecraft Rebel. I do have my number 2 guard on my clipper. These are the Gamma dubs in case you're interested. And once again, guys, I'm going over the top of my client's head. And y'all know how your boy does it. I'm gonna go over the head a good amount of times. I'm gonna go against the grain, across the grain. You know what I'm saying? Just wanna make sure that we're being really consistent with what we're doing. So now that that is done, I have my number 1 guard on my clipper. And like I said, guys, we are doing a number 1 on the sides. So I'm taking my number 1 and I'm going all the way up right below that parietal ridge area. And I'm using a slight flick out motion, and I'm gonna do this all the way around the head. And this is a personal preference. My client did ask for a number 1 on the sides. I know some people wouldn't go lower on the sides, but I would have went lower anyways. But I probably wouldn't have did a 1. I probably would have did a 1.5 or a 1.5 guard. But nonetheless, guys, I gave him a 1 on the sides, and now I'm going in with my one guard all the way open, coming up right above what I did with that 1 closed, using a slight flick out motion, really just trying to clean up all these hairs. And I know this isn't gonna completely fade this in. I know I'm gonna have to go back in with my 1.5 guard, and that's all good, you know what I'm saying? But we're trying to do what we can with this 1 all the way open. That way it makes it easier for us to clean that up with the 1.5 guard. And you may see me doing a little bit of lever play, but for the most part, I'm doing that 1.5 and that 1 guard, just cleaning everything up on the sides. So now here is my 1.5 guard, and I'm just gonna clean everything up towards the top of that parietal ridge, really just blending the sides into the top. And even though this is a fairly easy haircut, guys, you can overdo it and overthink it. So I'm just gonna try to give you all the easiest steps that I would normally do on this haircut without trying to be too, just too much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we try to do too much when we're cutting hair. And once again, guys, this is an easy to do haircut, but you can mess it up if you over detail or if you're just looking too hard or trying to do something that really doesn't need to be done. And now I'm just going back in with that 1 guard, using some lever play, just cleaning everything up. Obviously, I saw some discrepancies that I wanted to go back and fix. So now I'm going in with my Stylecraft Absolute Hitter. I do have the Gamma X Pro blade on this hitter. And what I'm doing is I'm taking off my client's C-cup. Reason being is, once again, guys, we are doing a high taper, so he doesn't want no C-cup. So we're cutting all that off, cutting all that C-cup off, and then we're trying to make a diagonal line towards the top of my client's ear. And since the trimmers are in my hand, I'm gonna go ahead and line him up behind the ear and over the ear. And that's basically what I'm doing here. You can edge them up now. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't, but there are times where I decide to line them up in the front also. But I'm gonna say that for last. Now I'm going in with that Supreme T-Fader shaver. It's actually a pretty good shaver, guys. But we're just getting the sides all the way down to skin. And now I'm going back in with my Stylecraft Rebel. I have my lever all the way open, setting in another guideline. And towards the top of where I want this guideline to be, I'm making sure I use a slight flick out motion. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close my lever halfway, come halfway into this section, and then close my lever all the way and attack that bottom line. And then you see me going back in, just doing some small lever play, cleaning it up slightly. So now this is my 0 guard lever all the way open. Normally I go on with the number 1 after I do my lever open, but I decided to switch it up because I already have a number 1 on the sides. So I'm going in with my lever all the way open with that 0 guard, which made it a 1, using a slight flick out motion. And then I'm adjusting my lever close, working down towards the bottom of that section. And as you can see, this blend is already coming together. Obviously, there is some discrepancy still in this blend, but for the most part, we're getting a good foundation of what we're gonna do to this haircut. And remember, guys, try not to overdo it. I know I am doing a lot, but I'm trying to make it as clean as possible, but at the same time, not overdoing it. And so what I'm doing now is I'm going back in with my lever open, no guard, just cleaning up some dark areas and some lines that I still see in that blend. And now I'm going in with my number 1 guard. And as you can see, I'm cleaning up behind the ear. Even though my lever is open, I'm cleaning up behind the ear just because it's just like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm kind of like on autopilot. Like when I get that next guard, I start cleaning up behind the ear. But what I'm doing really is trying to blend in the top of that taper into the top of the hair. And since that lever or that clipper is in my hand with that one guard open, I'm just messing with it, cleaning up behind the ear a little bit. But then I did close my clipper and started cleaning up behind the ear with the number 1 guard. And then I went in with my 1.5 right after that and cleaned everything up also. And now we're moving on to the lineup. As y'all can see, I'm starting off in the middle of my client's hairline, setting in an initial line, and then working my way over to that vertical bar. And remember, guys, every edge up is technically a pushback. Like you're pushing the hairline back slightly just to make sure it's nice and sharp, and that's totally fine. You just don't want to overdo it. I guess you can call it a controlled pushback. But once I line up my client's hair, then I go back in and start doing some more detail work. This is my clipper open, no guard, just cleaning everything up using some lever play. And I did not record me cutting the opposite side of my client's hair, but I did record me lining him up. So this is me lining up the opposite side of my client's hair. Excuse me. And all we're doing here is trying to make this side match the opposite side. So once again, guys, you wanna do a little taps, brush the hair away, look at what you're doing, and then move yourself over little by little until you get to that vertical bar. And even though I did not record the opposite side of the haircut, I did record the back. So what we're doing here is we're gonna go ahead and taper him up in the back. And as you can see, I'm setting in that bald guideline, guys. I'm gonna do the same exact thing that I did on the left side, going in, setting this guideline. And remember, since we are doing a high taper, we're really not keeping it too low. You know what I'm saying? We're coming up a little bit into the hair. A lot of times people will just take away that bottom line, but we're coming up into the hair about 1 inch or so. And now I'm going in with my lever all the way open. And I'm coming up about 1 inch or so, once again, using a slight flick eye motion towards the top of that section, and then I'm gonna fade this section down, meaning I'm gonna go in with my lever halfway closed, coming halfway into this section, and then I'm gonna close my lever all the way and start attacking that bottom line. And once again, guys, this may or may not get rid of that line completely, and that's totally fine, because if it does it, we can go back in with a trimmer if needed. Alright, so here is my 0 guard. And once again, guys, doing the same thing, coming up another section using a flick out motion. We're starting with the lever all the way open, and then we're adjusting that lever closed. So I think right now my lever is halfway closed, and then I'm gonna close it all the way and try to get rid of that bottom line. And once again, if it doesn't get rid of that bottom line, totally fine. I can always go back in with my lever all the way open. So now I'm going in and detailing it with my lever open. And we're just gonna use some lever play to try to get rid of some of these darker areas in this blend. But as y'all can see, that back taper is already looking pretty fire. Obviously, I'm still gonna mess with it a little more, but it's coming together. Alright, so now that that is done, we're moving on to the enhancements. Sometimes I do the enhancements before the blade, sometimes after. Just depends on what I'm gonna do. And y'all see why I did this first right here. So what I'm doing is I'm using my no drip from Tune 45, just spraying my client's hairline, really trying to make these lines pop, not trying to make it look fake. That's something we're not doing. And what I'm doing now is I'm going in with some hair fibers, and I'm going over what I did with that no drip. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm just really stacking these enhancements to make it look nice and sharp and super crispy. So now I'm gonna hit him with some hairspray, and then normally what I would do is reline up my client, but I said, you know what, since I gotta put this white chalk line, this white magic pencil, I'm gonna go ahead and wait till I'm done putting this pencil in before I reline him up. So I'm just using this pencil to trace what I'm doing, or not trace what I'm doing, but trace the hairline. That way it gives another contrast from the skin to the hair, and it looks super, super sharp. And now what I'm doing is I'm trying to fade out this pencil while relining up my client's hairline. And the reason why, guys, because remember I went in with them hair fibers, and you will get a little bit of strayaways, so you want to make sure you clean all that up and try to fade out this pencil. You don't want it to be a hard, blunt white line. And even though this isn't gonna fade it out completely, that's fine, because I'm still gonna go back in with my razor. And once I use my razor, it's gonna make it look even sharper and even more faded out. And if y'all are interested in any of these tool guides, well, I won't say any of these tools, but the Stylecraft and Gamma tool that y'all saw me using, the Absolute Hitter, the X Pro Blade, or the Stylecraft Redwood, you can go to their website, gammaplus.com, or you know what, I think it's gammaplusna.com, but I have the link in my description. But you can go to their website and use my discount code TANK10, and everything else you can find in my description. Alright guys, but check it out. This is how my client came into the shop looking. This is the before look, and this is the after. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if new to my channel, make sure and subscribe one time for your boy. And that's basically it, YouTube. Remember, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and you want a haircut with your boy, you can go to my website, tankbchopping.com. You can book there. And if you want it to be for YouTube, make sure you put that in the comment section when you're booking. And that's basically it, YouTube. Your boy's been working. I'm going to try to put out some more content for y'all. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. Yeah.